This is my 2019 Ford F-150. Now the great thing about new vehicles or newer vehicles is there's a ton of hidden features and features that you don't know about. So if you own one of these F-150s or you'd like to own one in the future, then I hope you're gonna learn something in this video. Now the first one that I always like to talk about in these videos is the key fob. So if your battery dies, because everybody knows that the battery's gonna die on your remote at some point or another. Now all you need to do is go ahead and click your little button on your key to remove the actual old school key and go ahead and place it into the door to go ahead and unlock it. Once you get into the vehicle though, what do you do? Now that's the nice thing about modern vehicles. In a lot of them, what you would do is you would go ahead and put your foot on the brake, grab your key, and actually press the push start button. Now Ford came up with a different way, which I don't know if I agree with as much. Underneath your cup holders, if you go ahead and pop that little plate where you would normally, keep it from getting all dirty, you're gonna go ahead and slide your key fob right into that little slot under there, and it's gonna go ahead and allow you to actually start the vehicle even if your key fob is completely dead. Now on some models of the F-150, you actually have to pop up in that little front tray, little sliding part, and you actually have to pop that part up and put your key into there. But on most of the ones that I've seen, you're gonna go ahead and put it in the cup holder area, whether it's the front or the back cup holder. On mine, it just happens to be the front cup holder. Now while we're speaking on the fact of keys, what do you do if you want to lock your keys in your truck? Huh? Why would you want to lock your keys in your truck? Well, if you're somebody like me and you may want to go for a run in a park, you don't want to run with your keys on you. What you can do is go ahead and lock them in the truck. Now, this is one of the nice added benefits of driving one of these Ford vehicles, because in a lot of other vehicles, you would not have the option to even do this. But since you have the little keypad on the side of your door, you can actually go ahead and lock your keys in your truck. Now, it's super simple, right? You think you just throw your keys in there, press the lock button, walk away, and you're good to go. What will happen is the proximity will still kick in, and you can actually put your hand right behind the door and open it up so it's not secure at all. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and throw your keys in there and shut the door. Once the door's shut and everything is secure, what you want to do is hold down the two bottom buttons, the 7/8 and the 9/0 buttons on the keypad. Just hold them down for like 2 or 3 seconds until you hear it lock, and then you should be good to go. Now do make sure that you have your keypad configured and you know what the code is, otherwise you're going to be completely locked out of your truck. But this bypasses the proximity and allows you to actually keep it secure, so then you come back from your run or your walk or whatever you're doing, you go ahead and punch in your code and you can get right back into your truck, grab your keys, start it up, and be on your way. Now this next feature isn't one that's super exciting, but I thought I'd throw it in here because no one ever knows about it or talks about it for whatever reason, and that's the easy entry and exit mode. So if you have the memory seat setting on your vehicle, now this won't just work on the F-150, this will work across the board on different vehicles. If you have the memory setting, all you have to do is go into your dashboard settings in the cluster and go ahead and change it to on. All you have to do is check it. Once you check that, what will happen is when you turn off the vehicle, the steering wheel, the pedals, and the seat will all move to give you the most maximum amount of room to get in and out of the vehicle. Now what happens is once you jump back in, you go ahead and start up the vehicle, your seat and your everything is going to go right back to that memory setting exactly where you left it, which can just help it be a little bit more convenient for getting in and out of the vehicle. And while we're on the topic of talking about, simple little settings that you can modify that are technically hidden features that people don't know about, on mine, the remote start was not working. So I had to go through a whole bunch of diagnostic processes to kind of troubleshoot and figure out what it was. Turns out all it was the battery on my key fob needed to be replaced. So once I replaced that, we're good to go. But through that diagnostics process, I'm looking online trying to figure things out, and I can't find any information on the remote start or, why it might not be working. This is a Raptor model, so I knew it was equipped with the remote start. It has the 802A, has all the technology packages you could ever have, so it definitely has a remote start. So I'm looking through the settings inside of the navigation in the sync system, and there's nothing in there showing me any options for the vehicle for the for the remote start system or anything like that. So that was a little weird to me. And when I was putting it into ChatGPT, throwing it around Google, I wasn't finding any information. It was saying it should be showing up in there if you're equipped. If not, you don't have the remote start, which I knew was obviously not true. So again, I had to do a little bit of digging myself, and through searching and finding on my own, when you actually go through your menus and your settings on the actual dashboard cluster, that's where you're going to find the majority of your vehicle settings. Now in there you have your remote start options, and there's actually a little bit of tweaking that you can do. You can change what you want the temperature to be, whether you want it to be auto or you want it to be your memory setting of what you had it previously when you turned off the truck. You can change different things about your heated seats, heated steering wheel, and of course you can go ahead and set how long you want it to run for. So for me, I have it set to around 10 minutes I think right now, which will get the truck nice and warm, but you can go as high as 15 or as low as 5. Now tell me why this is an option that nobody knows about, and in every video that I've ever watched researching the F-150, everybody says, why are you not mentioning this? This is such a mind-blowing thing. And it's literally, there's a lock on the center console. Now, everybody should know about, if you just use your eyes, just take a quick little look, you will go ahead and find that there is in fact a lock mechanism right there on the center console. Now, if you combine this with the locking doors and you want to lock your keys double, throw them in there, and then maybe you just keep the little key, or you know, you have another key or whatever you want to do, that can just be a nice little way for you to kind of double down on security, I guess. But I don't know why people were like, wow, this is a mind-blowing thing I've never heard of. It's pretty standard on most vehicles. Another interesting feature on the F-150s, I think this is mainly 2015 to 2020-ish, 2021 maybe, is you can actually put it into an advanced track sport mode. Now, you probably don't know what that means, because I don't even know what that means, but since I have the Raptor, I can't even really demonstrate it because we just have regular sport mode and different things on it. But if you have a different model, this might open up a world of possibility for you. So essentially, if you click the little button to turn off traction control, and you know, it's basic across all, you just press it, it turns off traction control, right? In some models, if you double tap that, it's actually going to bring you into an advanced track sport mode. So essentially what this is supposed to do is be between, you know, having the traction on and the traction off. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more fun to your truck maybe, or you know, maybe you just need to bring it for off-road or whatever you may be doing. It can open up a world of possibilities if you didn't know that it was there. Again, I can't even test it, so I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but I'm sure it could be helpful to some of you guys. Now, thankfully for me, I haven't had any issues with my vehicle at this point, with my screen having any kind of issues. Now, with my previous vehicles, you guys know I was a Jeep Grand Cherokee guy for the longest time, and I had several different Jeeps, and throughout that process, I had plenty of issues with my screen, you know, turning off, black screen, all that, and I needed to reset it. Now, on those type of vehicles, you hold down the power button and the tuner button at the same time, and that will actually do a force reset and a force refresh on your actual screen system. Now, with the Fords and the sync system that's in these trucks, you actually hold down the power button and the little right arrow or the next arrow, and hold those down. It'll do a force reboot on there and reset any issues that you may be having. If you go beyond that and you're still having issues with your system, what you should do is go ahead and disconnect the power, the positive from your battery, and just let it sit for, you know, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, pop it back on, start it up, and that should give a full reboot to all the electronics. In that situation, it'll probably be a little bit more helpful for you and hopefully, you know, be able to fix some of those issues. Now, with these videos, I always love to have a community of owners come together and share their secrets. So if there's different things you didn't know or hidden features that you found out through owning one of these F-150s, or maybe a different Ford product that can, you know, be used between it, definitely leave those in the comment section down below. And if you did know all of these, or you didn't know any of these and they were kind of helpful for you, definitely also let me know in the comment section down below which one surprised you the most. And again, just help each other out down there, and let's build a nice community of people who are learning their vehicles even more. And on that note, make sure you do click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We do have new videos coming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the channel here, so you will be notified when those new videos do go live. And of course, if you haven't liked the video already, make sure you smash that like button down below. It really does help the video get out there to more F-150 owners and helps them learn a little bit more about their vehicles. And if you do see the option after to give it a hype, I'm not sure exactly what it is either, but it does help the channel in some way, so make sure you do that as well, and I would really appreciate it. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next video.
I only got one life, I'm trying to live my shit, minding my business as usual. I don't want nothing to do with the outside. How about the whip with a beautiful bitch? I've been too busy thinking about mine. Don't care what you be doing, I've been too busy thinking about mine. Back then shit was too bad, I was on the wrong path going too fast. Used to let the plug house holding too